Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of Wrestlemania 40, episode 18 of the Fight Pit Podcast.
Let's go!
So we're just going to get right into it. We did our Night 1 review. That included the CM Punk interview and the Bray Wyatt documentary.
Too sad.
Yeah, very sad. I cried.
I did too. Literally, I was sitting at home by myself, and I'm over here playing, I think it was either baseball or 2K24 while watching it, and I'm just...
Well, I'm not talking about Bray Wyatt, I'm talking about when R-Truth won the Tag Team Championship.
Oh, that too! That got me super emotional.
But starting off, Night 2, very, very exciting Night 1, but I really think that Night 1 was disappointing compared to what it could have been, because the Jimmy and Jay match, that was like, it just didn't go as long as I thought it would. I mean, the tag team match between Rey and Andrade and Santos and Dom,
good.
that
It just
didn't last long. It didn't last long, plus that stupid finish. Gunther versus Zayn was pretty good. But yeah, I don't think there was enough to make it like a legendary night. But Night 2 really stepped it up for WrestleMania 40. Oh, yeah. It made it to where this is legitimately, they've been saying it's the greatest WrestleMania. Night 1 was kind of disappointing, but Night 2
is probably one of the greatest nights of wrestling in history. Not just in WWE. Probably one of the greatest nights in wrestling ever.
Stephanie McMahon made her return immediately.
Yeah!
And they really kept emphasizing on commentary the Triple H era, which they've continued to do.
It is the Paul Levesque Triple H era.
Stephanie McMahon just says, "Are you ready?"
No, I said, "Are you ready?"
The first match on Night 2 is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Championship.
Which I think is interesting, and I think it's a good idea, because you have Seth fight through all this stuff. Like, he literally just main evented last night, and you have him kick off Night 2 right off the bat against Drew McIntyre in the world title match.
You had Punk on commentary.
Yay.
Which, I mean, it was just essential to this match that he was there.
Absolutely essential.
There was an awesome Drew McIntyre entrance. It had bagpipes and the sword. Like, it had a lot of people like down the ramp with swords. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was that kind of Scottish, legendary kind of entrance, I guess.
Wish you would have brought back Broken Dreams.
Awesome. Rollins' entrance was probably
weird.
The craziest that we've seen it.
Yeah.
It was a parade of Seth Rollins kind of wannabes. It looked like, anyway.
Bunch of clowns.
It was crazy, legitimately. And I think CM Punk on commentary said, "Look at this goof." And Drew kind of just looks confused.
Oh.
But we actually started the match. All the clowns left the ringside, and Drew McIntyre immediately comes out with the Claymore.
Just bell rings, Claymore. From there, just immediately Drew pins. It's a very close 2 count. Very close. Right off the bat.
Honestly, I would have been okay with Drew winning right off there.
Just squash him.
I would have been okay with that, but
I've been okay with that, but I'm glad it didn't happen. Just because of how good the rest of the match was.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, we had these belly-to-belly throws by Drew McIntyre after that initial Claymore.
Brutal.
Obviously, they're always brutal, but they just sent Rollins flying on the WrestleMania stage of all places. He hit a couple on the inside. I think he hit a few on the outside.
I know he hit a nasty belly-to-belly on the outside.
McIntyre had control of Rollins, and they went over by CM Punk, and he kept talking to Punk. And he got distracted just enough for Seth Rollins to hit a pedigree on the ringside. And that was a huge move right off the bat. Yeah. A pedigree on the outside is like more devastating than just a regular one. I mean, because you're doing it on that outside mat.
Yeah.
So that was devastating.
Crazy, yeah.
Pedigree on the outside. And then he hits the stomp.
Hits the stomp,
like,
right?
He puts him in, then he hits the stomp, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the stomp on the announce table comes later. But that initial, he throws him in the ring, stomp, he got a near fall off of that, which was just, I don't think I've really seen a lot of people kick out of the curb stomp, like, a lot. But Drew McIntyre kicked out of it a couple of times. We had the boo yay spot, and then we immediately have Drew McIntyre hit another Claymore, so he hits the second Claymore of the match so far, and gets another near fall.
Yeah.
And then there's another stomp near fall, and then Seth Rollins goes to the top rope, and he's looking for a super stomp, is what like CM Punk called it on commentary. He missed that, and then gets hit with the Claymore. Actually, no, I think he misses the Claymore, then he gets hit, he misses the stomp, and then he does the, what's the Drew McIntyre double arm DDT called?
Future Shock DDT.
He gets that, Future Shock DDT. And then he tries for the pin, that I think that gets a near fall.
Yeah.
And then he goes for the GTS. Well, like he kind of has this moment of, okay, what do I do? He's staring at CM Punk, and then he just gets this bright idea. Tries for the GTS.
Only Drew.
And then Seth Rollins turns that into a roll-up, and he gets the near fall, and then another Claymore near fall. So
Seth
I think
Rollins got absolutely destroyed during this match.
He's hit 3 during this match. And then I think, he takes him to the outside, and he's going to hit a powerbomb onto the announce table. Rollins just comes down with down elbows, basically. 12 to 6s.
Just nailing him on the top of his head.
And he gets off of his shoulders, and then that's when it comes to
he gets on
stomp
the
into
announce
the
table and then sets up Drew and hits a nasty stomp off the announce table.
But yeah, I can't remember exactly what happens after that, but the match doesn't last a whole lot longer. They get in the ring, McIntyre hits a Claymore, and he gets the near fall, which was absolutely insane. That was the 4th Claymore, and just like the stomp, I don't see a lot of people kicking out of the Claymore, so this was crazy that it happened 4 times. This was similar to, like, on a lesser extent, of Bray Wyatt kicking out of Seth Rollins' 14 curb stomps.
Yeah.
That was
Huge
atrocious.
difference.
That was atrocious. Either way, this was a finisher fest.
Yeah.
And Rollins, he gets hit with that 4th Claymore and gets the near fall. And he gets up, and he's just... I mean, he's so emotional and stuff, because it kind of seems like he has to lose here, right?
Yeah.
He's gotten hit with 4 of these, and he gets up and he says, "You have to fucking kill me." And then Drew McIntyre hits that final Claymore and gets the win, which that was completely the right decision.
Yes.
And I was so happy. And then this next freaking part, when Drew McIntyre, he gives the championship to his wife, and then he goes over to CM Punk. You should have just left CM Punk alone. Enjoyed your moment.
He got right up in CM Punk's face. He's like, I told you. I'm like, don't get too close.
I do want to mention real quick, first of all, Rollins, it panned to Rollins. He was crying, and he said, "You fucking deserve it," to Drew McIntyre. So that was nice.
Yeah. Then you also had the spot where Drew just during mid-match decides he wants to tweet out a post to Twitter, and later it was revealed that he said "bored at work, lol."
I guess I seen the retweet to that after he had lost the championship.
He was
like, "Fuck." But yeah, he goes over to Punk and he's on the announce table,
just trash talking Punk,
and he says, "I'm going to end your career." And then he gets up on the table, he does the DX suck it pose, and then he does it right in Punk's face, and I don't blame Punk.
He just sweeps his leg, takes off his arm brace, smacks the arm brace across Drew McIntyre's face, starts laying in kicks, and then you hear, how does Judgment Day's theme go? I forget how Damian Priest's themes go, but Damian Priest, his music hits. Dude's running down the ramp faster than I've ever seen anybody run down the ramp. He's like, I'm cashing in. And thank goodness for once that the referee's not like, are you sure? No, he said, all right. He grabs it, cashes it in. Damian Priest beats up a little bit on Drew, throws him in the ring, hits a huge South of Heaven, a devastating South of Heaven. On that one. Dude was running into it, hits the South of Heaven, pins Drew McIntyre. 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest successfully cashes in his Money in the Bank and is your new World Heavyweight Champion. A twist that, I kind of saw coming in some sense or form, but I didn't expect them to actually pull it off. For them to actually go for it. I thought they would give Drew his flowers and be able to have him have a title reign, but no. They're like, we're going to give you your literal 5 minutes of fame, and then we're going to give the title to Damian. I was like, yeah. It's awesome.
I liked it. It is a legendary moment, obviously. I'm just such a big Drew fan. I'm just happy that it didn't happen to Cody, though.
I already know what's going to happen since they announced Clash at the Castles in Scotland. He's going to win it in Scotland. They're going to have a rematch. Drew wins it back, and then you build for your CM Punk Drew feud. That's what I think is going to happen. And
I don't know. I think Priest obviously does deserve to have a good title reign.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll just see, but so far, it's been pretty funny. We'll talk about that when we're all after Mania.
Yeah.
But the next thing we had was the Street Profits and Lashley taking on the Final Testament, which was a Philadelphia street fight with the only referee that's deserving of it, Bubba Ray Dudley, and Snoop Dogg's on commentary.
Crazy.
I feel like some people going into this match didn't really care for it. I did actually care for it. I wanted to see it.
I was kind of in between on this. I like the feud because I like what they're doing with Karrion and AOP. And I also like what they're doing with Street Profits and Bobby. But I'm like, with how many matches they've done without there being any ending to it, I'm like, is it just going to be a simple match? What are they going to do with it? They ended up doing a lot of good stuff in this match that I really enjoyed. So.
Oh, yeah. I really liked this match going into it. I would rather have seen Lashley versus Cross by itself.
Yeah, I feel like.
But I am happy that all of them get a WrestleMania spotlight.
Honestly, even if it was still the street fight, I feel like that would be a really good match between the two.
Yeah, so they started the match off, they isolated Lashley away from the Street Profits, and they all had kendo sticks just beating the hell out of them.
Crap out of them.
And then Cross hits this devastating, he puts the chair set up, neck breaker onto the back of it, which that's always, I imagine a very painful spot when their necks hit the back of that chair. They kept beating up on Bobby Lashley, and then the Street Profits came in, and they get beat up as well, and it legitimately looks like they're going to get squashed.
Yeah.
There's a double power bomb, and then B-Fab, she comes in to help, and she gets taken out by Scarlett immediately.
Yeah.
For real, it was looking like they were going to get squashed immediately. And it was very decisive, oh my gosh, how are they going to make a comeback?
Picking it apart.
But Lashley, of course, Lashley takes control because it's Lashley. Lashley's the best.
Bobby. It's Big Bobby.
He takes control. And then Dawkins, there's a spot where Lashley takes control, they get sent out of the ring, and then Dawkins goes right through both members of AOP like a freight train. Legitimately, Dawkins is powerful. He has explosive. He's explosive. And he did that to Strowman at WrestleMania 39. He's done it. He did it to AOP at WrestleMania 40, which was
even more devastating.
Yeah, it was great.
More crazy.
Montez jumps over the top of the corner, the ring post.
Almost lands into the front row. Yeah. I thought for real he was going to land on top of fans. I would be like, yes!
So then we actually did kind of get that singles match between Lashley and Cross because everybody else was taken out.
Yeah.
And yeah, Cross was just trying to use a chair, and Lashley was trying to lock in the Hurt Lock. And yeah, then there was a DDT on the chair by Karrion Kross. He takes over after a while, and then he gets in an argument with Bubba Ray Dudley.
Are you stupid?
It is the stupidest thing.
Are you stupid? And he's like, that was a... How can you count so slow? How can you not see that? And then he pushes Bubba. And Bubba's like, no, oh, dude reaches in his pocket, pulls out the old ECW glasses, and then lands a shot on Karrion Kross, lands right into the...
I don't even think he does him. I think he just puts it on, the crowd goes crazy, and then he turns around and Lashley gets...
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and then Lashley just takes back over.
And they end up taking over. They get him to a spot where they go for the "What's up?" the signature move that they used to do.
They hit that on Kross.
And they hit that on Kross. I think it was Dawkins did the main spot that Devon does. It was awesome. I loved it.
Then Dudley calls for everybody to get the tables, and then they put Karrion Kross to the table, obviously.
Well,
and Montez.
They did that on more than one occasion. First time, they tried to grab a table. They tried to set it up.
God,
they put Karrion Kross on the table. The table just breaks.
Yeah.
Straight up just breaks with Karrion.
It was a crazy botch that you're going to see on Botchamania.
And then you have Montez going out, getting a kendo stick. I don't know if he goes out for a kendo stick, but he gets a kendo stick, beats up Karrion while they get the table. They set up another table. After that, they send Montez up.
Huge frog splash.
Hits a huge frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits end up winning the match. And it ended up being a lot better of a match than I personally thought. I thought it was going to be very simple, to the point. Kind of a squash match, like we were talking about earlier.
I don't know. I didn't really... I don't know. It was good. It's just... There wasn't a lot of story going into it.
No.
But that's
really.
okay. I don't know. It was good for what it was.
It was a decent match.
We cut to the back, and Paul Heyman explains Bloodline rules, basically. When you get down to the meat and potatoes of that segment. And we immediately transition to AJ Styles versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
This was something I was super excited for. And it did not disappoint at all. His new theme song, AJ's new theme song, is kind of disappointing. I don't know if it'll have to go on us.
You don't want none.
I don't know.
I thought that was stupid.
Yeah,
I hope they fix things. We need to start a trend. # Fire Death Rebel. They suck though. Like, anytime they've made remixes in the past 2-3 years, anytime they've remixed somebody's song, 9 times out of 10, it's absolute trash. I don't know. Continue. I'm sorry.
We start the match off. AJ Styles, he takes control, and he's working LA Knight's leg. LA Knight comes back with the comeback. Oh yeah. Yeah!
Smashes his head against that outside.
There was an insane tornado DDT by LA Knight. Like, he jumped off the middle rope and he flew and then caught that tornado DDT. It was really good.
Yeah.
There was a German suplex facebuster combo by AJ. Yeah, that was really nice. Or was it by AJ?
It was by AJ.
I remember him doing that facebuster all the time. But then there was a German superplex.
Oh my goodness,
which
was crazy.
Yeah. And then AJ got, after working LA Knight's leg some more, he gets him with the calf crusher, which is always a great move. Like I said, favorite submission maybe, other than the crossface chicken wing. There was a basement dropkick into the ring post. Oof. I can't remember that spot. Like, what happened with that?
I don't remember either. I don't know that.
I'm thinking that his leg was like on the ring post, and then it was a basement dropkick into his leg, maybe.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure.
Anyway, LA is backdropped onto the exposed floor. He takes off that, so it's just
LA Knight straight up tried to.
It's concrete, right?
I think so. I think it's concrete to cover up the turf on the field.
Well, it's not like solid though.
No.
So it's not as hard as if he just takes
I was not expecting LA Knight to go for a pile driver on that. I was like, if this dude lands that,
Yeah, he went for the pile driver, gets backdropped. And then there's a 9 count for Knight, almost gets counted out at WrestleMania.
He gets
40.
back in, gets a huge pop.
And then AJ Styles takes back over, and he's looking for that illustrious springboard 450, and he hits it right into the knees of LA Knight, which just...
Ouch.
There was the Booyah spot into a Pele kick by AJ, and then the BFT, that was reversed into a Styles clash. Then that was reversed.
Yeah, that was reversed.
And then AJ Styles was going for the phenomenal forearm, and he gets tripped off the top rope.
Call back to Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and then
literally the exact same spot.
And then he gets him with the BFT win. We have LA Knight winning at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah!
First WrestleMania for LA Knight, and he wins. Yeah! AJ, you're a bum.
Yeah! Dummy! Yeah!
Tummy. Yeah!
Crack it with a Slim Jim giveaway Slim Jim card. Yeah!
What are you talking about?
He gave away his Slim Jim card during WrestleMania. You don't remember that?
They announced the King and Queen of the Ring.
Boo!
What are you talking about?
I think it's gonna be pretty garbage. I don't think they're gonna do much with it.
I want to see.
Well,
Rob Van Dam win the King of the
honestly,
Ring.
with it being the first, not the first. Would it be the first year with Triple H fully back? Was Vince? No. With it being the first time doing this specific pay-per-view with Triple H fully in control, it might actually be really good. But I don't have high expectations.
Right. Then they reviewed the Hall of Fame. Just again, Paul Heyman
Had his ECW entrance, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, we had some other people there. Then there was the Bray Wyatt tribute once again, or Bray Wyatt. And then we had Owens taking on Randy Orton and Logan Paul for the United States Championship, which this match was pretty good. And I was expecting it to be pretty good, but I don't know, it surpassed, honestly. It was a really good match. The rest of the matches on this card, legendary. For real classics. We started off, Logan enters in a Prime truck, and then there's like this Prime cannon that shoots out fireworks.
It's stupid.
Yeah, there was a throwback to the Sammy walk for KO's entrance, where KO was there to encourage Sammy in the gorilla position.
And Sammy just stole him. Now it's your turn.
And sadly, KO does not win. like that strategy worked for Sammy, it did not work for KO. KO had this cart that he just rode to the ring.
And then Randy Orton's music hit afterwards. And then KO's like, you know what? He decides to be courteous, puts it in reverse, hits the gas, goes up to Randy and be like, come on, buddy, get in the car. He just rides on the back. You can see that Randy's terrified because Kevin's like flooring it. And Randy's just like holding on for dear life, trying not to fly off of the golf cart. I'm like, oh my goodness.
They start the match off. Owens and Orton immediately double team Logan. Then there was these back suplexes onto the announce table, Orton style, but Owens was helping him. There was a double Garvin stomp, which that was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Then they both went for the pin at the same time, and that's when the animosity between them two was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to win. No, I'm supposed to win. So we had that double pin spot, and then Orton, he tries to give an RKO to Kevin, and that's the first real seed of, okay, yeah, this is a triple threat, remember that. And then them two brawl. They just start going at it, throwing sluggers, throwing buggers, throwing baseballs with their fists. There's a double buckshot lariat from Logan Paul. He just hits both of them with it while they're busy with each other. And Logan takes control of the match. And like everybody's been saying, Logan's just one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Right now, yeah.
Like, for real. Like, it is so crazy, talented. But his athleticism it's so transferable to the WWE wrestling style. So and he just proves it every day. Every time he goes out there, he proves that he's a natural. He did a double, not Logan. Kevin Owens did a double cannonball on Logan and Orton. And then there was a swanton into a standing frog splash. I'm pretty sure by by Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And then there were uppercuts on Randy, like just devastating by Paul.
Yeah.
And then he went for the buckshot lariat on Randy, and Randy caught him in that vintage Orton power slam.
Yeah. Or the power slam first.
And then the double vintage Orton with that DDT.
Yeah.
Just great. Senton Codebreaker combo.
Crazy. Absolutely nuts.
They were going for the Tower of Doom spot. Randy Orton was superplexing Owens, and Paul got underneath Randy for that power bomb, and instead of Orton actually going through with the Tower of Doom, he just starts punching Owens and Logan Paul. Just 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And yeah, Randy Orton's in full control. Then there was this moonsault near fall by Kevin Owens. And then Randy Orton, obviously out of nowhere with a huge RKO on Kevin Owens. That got a near fall. And then freaking Logan Paul with these brass knuckles. He hits them right on Randy Orton like a full punch. Like, for real, that's something that knocks people out. And he gets a near fall. That was actually... I love that spot when he kicked out of that brass knuckles shot.
Yeah.
And then there was the brass knuckles into Kevin Owens' stomach, and then and then his face.
Yeah.
And he's gotten taken out of the match by Logan Paul. And then an RKO reverse from a punch.
Tried to hit him again.
And then Orton, he hands the nuts to the referee. And
good man. Good man.
And then he's looking for the punt kick on Logan Paul, and that is scary. That's a scary thought.
That is a scary thought. You know what else is a scary thought?
What?
Logan getting pulled out of the ring by a Prime bottle, and who else, after getting pulled out, to be revealed as the Prime bottle than ISO Speed being revealed as the Prime bottle, and you just have ISO Speed dropping F-bomb after F-bomb, and then out of nowhere just at Randy.
Randy Orton hits him with a crazy Spartan kick like he's the real life Kratos.
The cap of the Prime bottle just goes flying off.
And Randy Orton just demolishes ISO Speed. He rips the bottle off. He puts ISO Speed onto the announce table.
Before he RKOs him, he holds him up and he's like, and then he RKOs him up. Like, Randy Orton got that dog in him. And then, actually, Michael Cole had a really funny spot where he says, I think the dog's dead.
There was a pop-up powerbomb onto Logan. A stunner on Orton. That got a near fall by Kevin Owens. And then he was looking for the pop-up powerbomb.
Randy's such a special athlete.
And he was looking for it on Randy Orton. Got caught with the RKO mid-move.
Crazy.
And then freaking Logan Paul. He throws him out of the match. Hits Owens with the frog splash and gets the victory.
1, 2, 3. It's just like, bro.
I wanted Orton to win. I would have
loved Orton to win, but I knew he wasn't going to.
I would have loved to see a Randy Orton United States Championship run.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, those are always great.
For sure.
But yeah, moving on, we moved on to Bayley versus Iyo Sky for the Women's Championship.
Match is so good.
I was not, I'm a big fan of Iyo Sky. And Bayley, obviously she's one of the best women's wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
I was not expecting a lot from this match for some reason. But it delivered on the damage control story in its full essence.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I underestimated it. But brother, this was great. This was amazing. Bayley gets carried out like a goddess.
Egyptian goddess.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. It was kind of weird because it was like, what's this supposed to represent? You were like, it doesn't matter.
It was just four man gladiators carrying this queen, and I kind of have this idea, the same thing as Triple H coming out during WrestleMania 30, how it was Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair.
Legit, I was on Twitter earlier today and just kind of looking through news because I know a lot of stuff's been happening in WWE.
Those guys are probably wrestlers.
Well, that's the thing. There was somebody who talked to Bayley. He said, "I bet those guys are in NXT, the NXT Performance Center right now, are preparing to be a part of NXT." And she actually said no, that none of them are part of it, and she has no clue who the other three guys are. She has no idea what their handle is like on Twitter, but she did have one. It was like kind of a producer and somebody that helped with WWE.
It is kind of cool to look back and.
But I mean, you never know what route someone might take, so they might be future WWE World Heavyweight Champions.
I mean, you didn't really even think about it. Those background characters for Triple H WrestleMania 30 would be women's champions. Like some of the greatest of all time. Bayley has new music as well. It sounds pretty good. And yeah, Iyo Sky didn't really have a
basic entrance, really.
Yeah, that was okay. But Iyo took over pretty quickly, and she was just working on Bayley's leg, being very strategic, like Iyo always is. One of the best of all time. Bayley, will you be my girl?
Bro, that was all the way through the match, and I loved it. Hey, Bayley.
Ooh,
I wanna know. Will you be my girl?
Bayley reverses a crossbody on the outside, and then a knee starts Bayley's flurry, like a devastating knee as well. She gets her into the fireman's carry, into a sidewalk slam, which, just thinking about the mechanics of that is kind of hard to fathom. Right. But yeah, that happened, and Bayley's really good. There was a drop kick to Bayley, and then a moonsault to the outside. Bayley went out of the ring after that drop kick. Iyo Sky caught her with the moonsault, and then sunset flip into bottom buckle near fall.
Oh, nasty.
And then Iyo Sky, for some reason, decided when she woke up, it's WrestleMania 40. I'm going to hit the most perfect technique German suplex of all time. It is the most perfect bridging German suplex. Better than anything Brock Lesnar or Kurt Angle have ever done. It was perfect technique. The first time she bridged her, Bayley kind of landed on her neck, and then she ended up rolling over, so there wasn't a pin anymore. I think that's why she did the second one. And then the second one was just...
absolutely beautiful.
If not better. Like, it was just amazing. She hit that twice, and then there was a moonsault into... She went for the moonsault, and usually the person would get their knees up. Bayley just fucking extended her entire leg, and it looked like she may have hyperextended it or something, because that's crazy. I mean, but yeah, she caught her with that. It looked like it hurt. And then Bayley misses the elbow into a crossface by Iyo Sky. This match was heating up. This was a great match. Then there was a crossface locked in again after Bayley got out of it. And then she transitions the crossface into an STF, and I always like the variety of Iyo Sky.
Oh, yeah.
She's a high flyer, but she is so technical
as well.
Plus, she's that same kind of person like Orton, when she'll slow the pace down and she'll work on your leg.
Yeah.
She combines everything about Asuka and Kairi Sane and just blends it into
one person.
I mean, legitimately, with Kairi's high flying and Asuka's technicality, Iyo Sky is the perfect women's wrestler.
Yeah.
Then also to have on top of it the Kurt Angle slams. I mean, it's just crazy. And then there was a Bayley to belly near fall.
Yeah.
And she brought that back, first time in a while. And then they were trading slaps back and forth.
Just yelling at each other.
And then there was an awesome backbreaker into a moonsault near fall.
She's absolutely crazy during this match.
Standing moonsault. Then she goes to the middle rope, moonsault. Then she goes to the top rope. She misses the moonsault.
But it gets turned into, I'm pretty sure,
a rose plant.
A rose plant. But doesn't...
But she counters it.
She flips out of the rose plant.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I thought she hit it at first. And then you just see...
Whoop. Yeah, I thought she hit it, and then she just lands on her feet like nothing. I was like...
Huh? Huh?
And then the crowd starts going crazy. It's like the same moment as Will Ospreay hitting that Frankenstein on Ricochet. Or maybe it was Kota Ibushi. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a mark. She hits the elbow, hits the rose plant, and Bayley is your new women's champion. And I'm so happy she's gotten her great WrestleMania moment. Plus, with legitimately, if there wasn't Cody versus Roman, this was the best match on the card. When it comes to the technical side of things, it was so good.
For sure.
And we immediately transitioned to Snoop Dogg announcing the attendance of 72,755 for night 2, a total of 145,298.
Which ended up not... did it end up not being true? I think at the press conference, Triple H was like, it's actually not right, and that he gave the actual number. What was the total? I don't remember. I didn't...
Anyway, they announced on Raw that it was like 202,000 for the entire WrestleMania weekend, which I think they're going to include the NXT, the Hall of Fame.
Because I think Triple H said... Yeah, I think Triple H said that they didn't count Stand and Deliver and all that towards that 202,000? Really? I think that was...
Then it's even bigger because NXT is... Legitimately, this is the big boom in wrestling, in the wrestling industry. It started exactly when Triple H got put back into power. He started Damage Control in SummerSlam.
Started bringing back all the big free agents like Bronson Reed, Karrion Kross, all these bigger names at the time.
I honestly think that's something, maybe not regrettable. I think he can turn it into something with the new Final Testament.
Well, Bronson Reed was definitely one of the big names bringing back. As we speak, in this moment, where you guys are seeing footage of Bronson Reed.
He looks so good with the FTW Championship.
He does. It fits him.
But, anyway, we're really experiencing something crazy here.
As wrestling fans, we are in for the ride of our lives. Especially with these signings that Triple H, at least present day, that he's making. Like, he signed one of the biggest names recently in New Japan Women's Wrestling in Julia, if you haven't heard of her. They have officially signed her, as well as one of the cousins of, I believe the younger brothers of the Usos, but as well as Roman's cousin and Jacob Fatu, as well signed with WWE. So we're about to get a new era of wrestling, and we're getting some new names and some interesting names that could very well change the industry.
It really felt like WrestleMania 40 was the start of a new era. This main event match was the transition. It went from, you have The Rock, John Cena, Undertaker, which is just a crazy lineup for those to be interferences in the same match. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa all got taken out during this match.
Yeah. Crazy.
And Cody Rhodes finally finished his story and ended the 1,300-day reign. I just want to put it in perspective.
1,316 days.
I just want to put it in perspective. His title reign has lasted since I started my junior year of high school.
Yeah.
And now I'm like 2 years removed from high school, so it is insane to think about. It was basically 3.5 years.
Yep. Absolutely.
August of 2020.
August of 2020 until April of 2024. Absolutely nuts.
And to think about what he did for the championship. He not only did he win the Universal Championship and make it it is the most prestigious championship in wrestling right now. Because he held that championship for so long, defended it against names like Edge, Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, obviously Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, freaking Goldberg, Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Like, the list goes on. He defended it 32 times. His 32nd time is when he fell short. Yeah. And yeah, you might say that, he interfered all the time. He cheated all the time. And to you, I will say, yeah, that's the truth.
But he still won.
He had a plan, and that is what makes a great wrestler, right?
Makes a plan and being able to execute that plan.
I mean, this is the most illustrious reign since Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship run. Since CM Punk's WWE Championship run. And, I mean, it just surpasses it in total. It even surpasses... I mean, there's only 2 people ahead of him, right? Bruno Sammartino and
Hulk Hogan.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah, because he was number 4.
The original pioneer.
Pedro.
The original pioneer, Bruno Sammartino, followed by the biggest pioneer, Hulk Hogan. Roman Reigns is on that list. He will go down as the one of the greatest. I would actually see in a few years, people will be making their GOAT lists, their Mount Rushmore.
Reigns very well might be number 1.
He will definitely be in the top 10. But it's a hard field to compete with. The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, John Cena, Ric Flair, Undertaker. Just those 6 names are like...
I mean, I watched part of an episode after I think it was the day after WrestleMania, that Monday. John Cena literally was on Pat McAfee's show and literally said at the top of his GOAT list is Roman Reigns. Like, that's who...
Said that?
Yeah. Literally out of his own mouth, like, saying that he believes that Roman Reigns has changed the industry and that WWE wouldn't be where they are today without Roman, which I 100% agree. They wouldn't be who they are today without Roman. If Roman wouldn't have came back and he would have went into this tribal chief bloodline era, where would WWE be at this point?
We would legitimately fantasy book in 2018 these heel turns with Roman Reigns starting a great faction with the Usos. And it was just the Usos. Then you added in Solo Sikoa. And then we had this dream match of Rock versus Reigns, and they came up with a completely new idea of just, here, instead of Rock versus Reigns, these two are the most powerful men in wrestling today. And they're going to team up, and they make the greatest faction in history, maybe, when it comes to championship reigns and longevity and the amount of time. The Usos, forget about Reigns' record, the Usos, they surpassed their 1,000-day mark during their reign as the...
Which is
Usos from the bloodline.
Absolutely crazy.
1,000 days as tag team champions, plus that reign was legendary in itself. And then you add on top of the fact that Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign is so prestigious and illustrious now, but his was half. I mean, like, Roman went from... Gunther's is 600, Roman's 1,300. That's more than double.
Yeah.
I mean, that is...
crazy.
To put it into perspective... and to really take a look at it. Plus, he not only won the Universal Championship, he unified the WWE and Universal Championship, then made it into the Super Championship, and now Cody Rhodes. And like we were saying before, whoever beats Roman, superstar. Immediately. And Cody, he was a superstar before Roman.
But he's even higher up as a
superstar now. Enough of us complimenting Roman Reigns. This promo package before the match showed AEW superstars. I loved how there was no restrictions. This was, okay, look, whether you like it or not, this is Cody Rhodes.
Yep, this is who he is, this is his story, this is where he came from, this is where he's at now. And it's just like, it's the whole, I hate to compare it to this, but it reminds me a lot of Rock versus Cena, like, how they showed Cena's, like, comeuppance and looking up to The Rock, which, I mean, it's not the same situation because Cody and Roman are pretty much in the same state, but, like, in the same sense of, like, showing their comeuppance and how literally Cody's saying how he went from undesirable to undeniable.
To undisputed.
To undisputed now. But at the time, before the match started, being undesirable to undeniable, it was an awesome promo package to introduce to this beyond awesome match.
Cody came out and he came up like that little elevator. Brandy came out with him. He had a Triple H-esque skull mask on.
Very similar to his American Nightmare skull.
And Roman Reigns had a high school orchestra sing him out, which they did sound good. I'm not undermining it because they're high school. They did sound amazing. And this is Endgame.
Endgame.
This has been the build-up of not just Cody Rhodes. These stories are intertwining.
Yeah.
You have Roman Reigns. This has been building up since 2020. Every single little thing in his career was put on display here. Yeah. The people of his past, the people who are notorious with the Roman Reigns, not the tribal chief character by itself, but the Roman Reigns from 2015 to now.
Yeah.
His entire career, you have Seth Rollins, who former Shield mate, John Cena, probably his biggest rivalry when it came to putting him to that next level.
Yeah.
The Rock, who is his his bigger cousin who kind of overshadows Roman Reigns' career just by people saying, look at this dream match.
Yeah.
Undertaker, who had that WrestleMania 33 match when Roman beat him. Or WrestleMania, is it 33?
I think
it was.
Remember. 33 sounds right.
Yeah, I think it was. But, this was storytelling to the maximum, to the highest degree of quality. Triple H is the best. He brought together stories that he didn't even start, and he finished them with a pretty bow tying it all together. We start the match, and Roman Reigns, they just start off slow. They start off just like last year, and Roman ends up trying to go for a spear in the corner and hits the ring post hard.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, remember this is Bloodline rules, so it's no disqualification. He grabs a table, and he's trying to get it set up, but Roman, yeah.
And then I like this next part. Roman then also tries to go for the tables. He's like looking around at the crowd with a big old smile on his face. He pulls it out. He's like, and he just pushes it back under the ring. He's like, Nah, you don't deserve this.
He did that same spot at Extreme Rules 2021 when we were there, where the crowd was wanting tables because we hadn't seen an Extreme Rules match all night, and they pulled one out. Yeah. Then he immediately put it back, and the crowd started booing. They did the same thing here. I love that spot.
Yeah, then after that, you have Roman also on the outside. He tries to Irish whip Cody into the steel steps, but Cody's able to reverse and ends up sending Roman into the steel steps instead. So that starts to build a little bit of advantage towards Cody.
But Roman Reigns is the best ever. He takes back control with a kendo stick, just beating Cody Rhodes up. Cody's eventually able to get the kendo stick, but he gets a little overzealous, and he runs right into the corner. And then, Cody and Roman have this little back and forth, and Cody's able to get Roman into the figure four. Woo! Great spot every time, and Cody just the best.
Yeah.
Roman takes control, and they go into the crowd. They end up going onto this platform, and Roman's telling people to move out of the way, trying to suplex Cody onto the floor, and Cody ends up reversing it, that suplex onto the platform. And, then they end up going back into the ring. He goes for the disaster kick, and it's caught right into a powerbomb, and that's a callback to WrestleMania 39. It's that same mistake that started Cody's downfall. He tries to go for the disaster kick, it gets reversed, and it's just another case of Roman showing, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
And he hits that here too, and then Roman's just talking trash. He's saying, I'm going to miss beating his ass because if he loses, he doesn't get a shot. He said, I'm going to miss beating your ass. He puts a chokehold on Cody. I can't remember what it's called. I think I learned it in jiu-jitsu, but I can't remember what it's called. And then, Cody gets hit with the fisherman suplex by Roman Reigns, which was beautiful. Perfect plex is what they called it. They get kicks back and forth. Cody hits a super kick. Roman hits a big boot. Cody hits a super kick. Roman hits a big boot. And then they both clothesline each other, which is the stalemate moment of the match. They're both down. Neither one can get an advantage over the other.
Yep.
The boo-yay spot, always good. Boo-yay, boo-yay. Bionic elbow. Actually, sorry about that. Disaster kick near fall. Cody Rhodes gets near falled by Roman. I love whooping his ass, is what Roman said after that. Bionic elbow by Cody. Cody clears the table, and just as he's about to try to put Roman through the table, he gets hit with a low blow, and then Roman picks him up and powerbomb right through the table. Was amazing. Superman punch after that. Puts him in the ring. Superman punch, near fall. Cody cutter, near fall. A spear by Cody. Gets a near fall. And then he tries for the crossroads.
I think he went for Cody cutter, and then...
Well,
I think he went for a Cody cutter, and then...
He hit the spear.
Yeah.
I think he tried for a crossroads. Jimmy super kicked him.
Oh, yeah.
Then that's when Jay came out. And Jimmy basically runs right at Jay. They start brawling. He misses the first shot. Jay takes over, punches, spears him off the freaking stage. And these WrestleMania stages are high. And they both went through the
said
tables on the floor.
It was at least like 10 feet. 10 feet or so.
I think they said 2 stories or something.
Yeah. A spot which I'm not sure if it happened before or after this that I loved was at some point Roman caught Cody with the crossroads and hits it for a near fall. And Roman's like, "Man, this move sucks. Nobody's gonna be able to finish anybody with this move. This move is terrible." I was like, "Go ahead and bury him, Roman."
Cody gets put into the guillotine and he's able to escape pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then Cody spears Roman through the barricade. And the crowd's saying, "This is awesome, this is awesome." Cody gets him in the ring. 1 crossroads, 2 crossroads, 3rd crossroads. A callback to WrestleMania 39. Solo comes in the ring, hits him with that Samoan spike, and gets a near fall. And then Solo just looks insulted that Cody even has the nerve to kick out of that. And then he picks him up, or he just starts beating him up. He's telling Roman, finish his story.
Roman's like, okay, I know.
Roman's like, I know. And it kind of seemed like Solo and Roman were butting heads a little bit, I guess.
Like Solo was trying to dictate the pace, even though he knows that's Roman's job.
They hit a Samoan spike and a spear near fall, and that was legitimately surprising. He kicked out. I mean, I know how a wrestling match goes. I know that wasn't going to be the ending, but the fact that's a super move.
Right.
That's something you hit and you don't kick out of. And then John Cena's music hits, and John Cena going after the guy who last took him out, Solo Sikoa. Just that story, that little mid story.
Yeah.
That got told. Cena takes him out, attitude adjustment through the table, and then what's that? If you smell.
You also. Cena also ended up hitting AA on Roman before he went after Solo. Hit AA, and then hits the AA on Solo, and then you hear, like you said, if you smell what the Rock
is cooking. And not even, this was a story by Vince McMahon 11 years ago, and it came to a final ending here with The Rock and John Cena 11 years later, facing off again. They had a 2 WrestleMania main event streak together, just like Cody and Roman here. And
technically, it was 3 with this one, even though they weren't like the main part of it.
Yeah.
It's a 3rd face-off.
Rock hits John Cena with the rock bottom, and the Rock's telling Cody, "Get your bitch ass up, get your bitch ass up."
And he holds the belt up, gets ready to whip him, and then, dong, lights go out. Dong.
Wait, first Seth Rollins' music.
Oh yeah. Music. I always forget that's
Seth Rollins came out in Shield attire. He looks for a chair shot on The Rock, and Roman Reigns hits him with the Superman punch.
Yep.
Then you hear the Undertaker dong. And then the lights go out.
Yep. And then dong, lights come back on. You see Undertaker just heavily breathing behind Rock.
Rock doesn't know what to make of it. He turns around.
He tries a big
choke slam.
I think he either tries to go for a rock bottom or a punch, and he just gets, like you said, he gets caught with that choke slam, and then we get it again. The dong, lights go out, and then lights come back on. I don't know what Undertaker did. I don't know if he carried him under the ring with him, but ring's completely cleared out. No Solo.
Just Roman and Cody.
Roman and Cody.
And then after that choke slam on The Rock, they both disappear. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns are in the ring. Cody's down, Roman gets up. Seth Rollins is slowly getting up. And just like Seth did it to him 10 years earlier, Roman Reigns, with that chair,
decides to take his revenge on Seth.
It looked exactly like that initial betrayal.
Which I know was on purpose.
Yeah, it was on purpose, but that's the great thing about storytelling. And the way this unfolded, because you had so many little threads throughout the story.
Right.
Because you had, obviously, the ultimate betrayal, and Seth Rollins is the only guy, as he told Cody, that is able to be your shield. He came out during the WrestleMania main event after losing his own championship.
Literally was the shield.
And he knew Roman Reigns, if he's seen the opportunity, he's seen that shield attire, he heard that music, he's thinking about that. He would go after him instead of Cody. He hits that chair shot. And then Cody Rhodes gets the opportunity for the 3 crossroads super finisher. And Cody Rhodes gets the 1, 2, 3. And Paul Heyman's face is the best thing about that pin. It's that realization.
Yeah.
And
Michael Cole,
that actually just happened.
And Michael Cole has one of the forever, long-lasting, will always be one of my favorite lines in WrestleMania history. As the ref pins, it's finish the story.
Yeah.
As the 3 count in tandem, I'm like, bro, it just happened.
Yeah, I loved WrestleMania Night 2. WrestleMania Night 1, it was good. A little bit disappointing, but
Night 2 was just absolute cinema.
I think the only reason people really tuned in was to see Rock versus Cody World Championship. Yeah, all the matches are great. This match was needed for so many story arcs to be completed. You had John Cena and The Rock story completed. You had The Undertaker finally taking Roman out, finally getting that betrayal after being beaten at WrestleMania for the second time.
You have Jay taking out Jimmy for the second time and being able to come out on top again.
And you finally have Roman Reigns' 1,300-day reign taken out by Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the now WWE Undisputed Universal Champion.
Yeah!
And yeah, I loved it.
Just a little tidbit of this. Also, after the match, Cody also had a little heartfelt promo just saying, like, I wouldn't be here without all the people surrounding me. I would have been able to get this done. And I just want to thank these 2 people. He ends up bringing out Bruce Pritchard and Triple H, saying none of this would have been possible without these 2 guys. It's just a huge heartfelt moment. Cody's able to hand off his belt, the wrestling belt, to his mom, which is so sad. So it's one of those moments that's like bittersweet. It's like, it's so sad, but so heartwarming at the same time. But yeah, very, very emotional and very cinematic match. I loved that main event.
Yeah, I loved most of WrestleMania. It was really good. But yeah, that ends the episode for today. Go check out WrestleMania Night 1, that review, if you'd really like to. It's up on the screen right now. And also, if you haven't watched WrestleMania, what are you doing? Go watch it. It is one of the best. Honestly, when Triple H said it on Monday Night Raw after Mania that this is the greatest WrestleMania, without a doubt, it's hard to argue with it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you had WrestleMania 17, 18, 30, 35. I mean, 35 was okay. 38, 39 were really good. 40 is just so amazing.
Yeah. So if you have 8 hours of free time available, or I guess like 7.5 hours of free time available on your hands, go watch WrestleMania 40. You won't regret it. Some of the best booking and best matches you will see.
We'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any suggestions for retro pay-per-views for us to look back at, we will look at TNA, ROH, AEW, New Japan, WWE, WCW, NWA,
anything,
UFC, PFL, Pride,
just
Stardom.
Give your recommendations in the comments.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Up in it, bitch, we tryna get higher. Put it back, I cooking it, rack me, eating that pack of bonus stopper, holding it down, pull up in the primary real, that just not faking the cap. Yeah, killing the trapper, coming back, I'll break new loose, keep up in the track, I'm feeling the beachy, burning, healing, marking it, tie beam, baking me scream. Don't clap in the sea, air track and pee, I'm master love, but fiend deep, I'm switching my game, take passion, even with my shot, no line to see.